Part 1 Introduction. The dream called Switzerland. High in the heart of Europe lies a country that often feels almost unreal. A place where snow-covered peaks rise above emerald valleys, where crystal-clear lakes reflect ancient villages, and where nature seems to exist in a perfect harmony with human life. Welcome to Switzerland. For many travelers, Switzerland represents the very image of a dream landscape. It is a land of towering mountains, quiet alpine villages, and trains that glide effortlessly through some of the most spectacular scenery on earth. Every corner of this small nation feels carefully preserved, as if time itself has slowed down among the peaks. But Switzerland is more than just breathtaking scenery. It is a country where centuries of culture blend seamlessly with nature. Wooden chalets stand beneath towering cliffs. Church bells echo across the green meadows where cows graze peacefully, and winding roads lead travelers through the valleys that look like something out of a storybook. At the center of it stand the mighty Swiss Alps, the dramatic mountains chain that shapes the character of the entire nation. These mountains are not only beautiful, they are part of Switzerland's identity. They influence its culture, its tradition, and even the rhythm of everyday life. For generations, travelers from all around the world have been drawn to this alpine paradise. Some come seeking adventure, skiing down snowy slopes or hiking high mountain trails. Others arrive simply to admire the quiet beauty of nature. And everywhere they go, they discover the same feeling, a deep sense of calm. Perhaps it is the clean mountain air, perhaps it is the peaceful lakes, or perhaps it is the sense that in Switzerland, nature still leads the way. In this journey, we will travel through some of the most remarkable places in the country. We will explore the legendary mountain village of Zermatt, standing beneath one of the most iconic peaks in the world. We will visit elegant alpine resorts, storybook cities beside shimmering lakes, and hidden valleys where waterfalls fall from the towering cliffs. Along the way, we will discover why Switzerland continues to capture the imagination of travelers everywhere. It is a land of silence and grandeur, of ancient villages and endless mountains, a place where every view feels like a painting. This is Switzerland, and our journey is just beginning. Part 2 Zermatt and the Matterhorn. Deep in the southern mountains of Switzerland, surrounded by towering alpine peaks, lies one of the most iconic mountain villages in the world. Welcome to Zermatt. Hidden at the end of the quiet valley near Italian border, Zermatt has long been known as one of the most magical destinations in the Alps. What makes this village truly special is not only its breathtaking scenery, but also its peaceful atmosphere. Unlike most towns, cars are not allowed here. Visitors arrive by train, stepping directly into a world where the sounds of engines are replaced by the gentle ringing of church bells and the distant rustling of mountain winds. Wooden chalets line the narrow streets, their balconies decorated with flowers, and the summer deck covered with snow in the winter. Small cafes and traditional restaurants welcome travelers with warm lights and the comforting aroma of Swiss cuisine. Above all, there is one sight that dominates the entire landscape. Rising dramatically into the sky is a legendary Matterhorn. With its almost perfect pyramid shape, the Matterhorn is one of the most recognizable mountains on Earth. Its sharp peak reaches over 4,400 meters into the alpine sky, standing proudly as a symbol of the Swiss Alps. For centuries, the mountain inspired awe and fascination. Early climbers considered it nearly impossible to conquer, and when first successful ascent finally occurred in 1865, it marked one of the most dramatic moments in mountaineering history. Today, the Matterhorn continues to attract adventurers from all over the world. In winter, the surrounding slopes transform into one of the largest ski areas in the Alps. Skiers glide across wide landscapes beneath towering cliffs and ice and rock. During the summer months, the region becomes a paradise for hikers and climbers. Trails through alpine meadows filled with wildflowers, offering unforgettable views of glaciers and distant peaks. One of the most remarkable ways to experience the landscape is by riding the mountain railways that climb high above the village. The Gornergrat Railway carries visitors up steep slopes to panoramic viewpoints where Alps stretch endlessly toward the horizon. From the summit, the view is almost surreal. Massive glaciers follow slowly between jagged peaks. Snowfields shimmer under the sunlight, and the Matterhorn rises above them all, its dark, rocky face glowing orange in the light of sunset. As evening falls, Zermatt becomes quite quiet again. Soft lights glow from chalet windows, and the village settles into the calm rhythm of mountain life. In a world that often moves too quickly, places like Zermatt remind us of something important. Here, nature still feels so powerful and untouched. The mountains still command respect, and the beauty of the Alps continue to inspire anyone who comes to witness it. For many travelers, this is the moment they truly fall in love with Switzerland, and yet our journey through this remarkable country is only just beginning. Part 3. St. Moritz, Luxury in the Alps. Far to the east of Switzerland, high in the Engadin Valley, lies a destination that represents a very different side of Swiss Alps. Welcome to St. Moritz. While many Alpine villages are known for their quiet charm and rustic traditions, St. Moritz has built its reputation on elegance, luxury, and a long history of winter tourism. For more than a century, this mountain resort has attracted travelers from around the world, from adventurous explorers to royalty and celebrities seeking for the beauty of the Alps. The story of St. Moritz as a winter destination began in the 19th century. A local hotel owner once made a bold promise to a group of summer guests. If they returned during winter and did not enjoy their stay, he would pay for their entire trip. The visitors accepted the challenge, and when they arrived, they discovered a magical landscape of sparkling snow, clear blue skies, and endless alpine sunshine. They never asked for their money back. Since that moment, St. Moritz has been known as one of the birthplaces of winter tourism. Over time, it is developed into one of the most prestigious mountain resorts in the world. At the heart of the town lies the frozen surface of Lake St. Moritz. During winter, the lake transforms into a vast white stage where unusual events take place. Horse races thunder across the ice. Polo matches unfold beneath snowy mountains, and skaters glide across the frozen surface under the bright alpine sun. Surrounding the lake are grand hotels, elegant boutiques, and restaurants that combine traditional Swiss flavors with international cuisine. But St. Moritz is not only about luxury. The nature scenery here remains extraordinary. Towering mountains surround the valley, and long ski slopes stretch down toward the town. During winter months, the region becomes a paradise for skiers, snowboarders, and winter sport enthusiasts. In fact, SD Moritz has hosted Winter Olympic Games twice, a rare honor that reflects their town's deep connection with alpine sports. When summer arrives, the landscape changes once again. Snow slowly melts from the high slopes, revealing green meadows and crystal clear lakes. Hiking trails wind through quiet valleys, offering peaceful views far away from the busy cities from Europe. The air feels like fresh and pure, and sunlight reflects off the mountain lakes like mirrors. In St. Moritz, visitors experience a different rhythm of life, one that blends alpine adventure with refined elegance. It is a place where nature and luxury exist side by side. And yet, as beautiful as this resort may be, the journey through Switzerland is far from over. Because beyond these famous destinations lies something even more remarkable: the timeless beauty of Switzerland and its historic cities and lakes. Our next stop takes us to one of the most enchanting places in the country, the lakeside city of Lucerne. Part 4. Lucerne, a fairy tale by the lake. Nestled beside a shimmering lake surrounded by gentle mountains, the city, Lucerne, feels like a place drawn from a storybook. Located in the heart of Switzerland, Lucerne is widely considered one of the country's most beautiful historical rich cities. With its medieval architecture, peaceful waterfront, and dramatic alpine scenery, it offers travelers a perfect blend of culture, history, and natural beauty. At the center of Lucerne charms lies Lake Lucerne, a vast body of water that stretches deep into the surrounding mountains. The lake's surface often appears calm and reflective, mirroring the peaks and clouds above. Boats glide quietly across the water, connecting small lakeside villages and scenic viewpoints scattered along the shoreline. For centuries, this lake has served as an important road through central Switzerland, linking communities long before modern roads and railway existed. But perhaps the most iconic symbol of Lucerne is the elegant wooden bridge that crosses the Ries River. The legendary Skip Buckle, also known as the Chapel Bridge, originally built in the 14th century, Capo Bracco is one of the oldest covered wooden bridges in Europe. As visitors walk along its interior, they can look up to see a series of triangular paintings beneath the roof. These historic artworks depict scenes from Swiss history and legend, offering glimpses into the city's past. The bridge leads toward the distinctive octagonal water tower, which once served as a watchtower, treasury, and even a prison during medieval times. Together, these landmarks forms one of the most photographed scenes in all of Switzerland. Beyond the bridges lies Lucerne's beautifully preserved old town. Here, narrow cobblestone streets between colorful buildings decorated with frescoes. Small cafes spill onto quiet squares where locals and travelers gather to enjoy coffee, parties, and views of the surrounding mountains. Towering above the city are the ancient remnants of the Maastricht Wall, a defensive fortification built in the 14th century. Several of its watchtowers still stand today, allowing visitors to climb high above the rooftops for sweeping views of the lake and the Alps beyond. Lucerne is also a place deeply connected to the emotion and remembrance. One of the city's most moving monuments is the Lion Monument, a powerful stone sculpture carved directly into a rock cliff. The dying of lion honors Swiss soldiers who lost their lives during the French Revolution. The quiet, almost atmosphere surrounding the monument invites reflection, and silence. Writer Mark Twain once described it as the most mournful and moving piece of stone in the world. Yet, despite its deep history, Lucerne remains lively and welcoming. Festivals, music performances, and cultural events fill the city throughout the year. Visitors can explore museums, ride historical paddle streamers across the lake, or take scenic excursions into the nearby mountains. In many ways, Lucerne represents the soul of Switzerland, where nation, tradition, and culture exist in perfect harmony. But our journey through the Swiss Alps continues. Beyond this peaceful lake city rise some of the most dramatic peaks in Europe, towering mountains of ice and rock that have inspired explorers for generations. Our next destination leads us to the heart of the Alps, toward one of the most breathtaking Alpine regions in the world, Jungfrau Region. Part 5. Jungfrau Region, the crown of the Alps. High in the heart of the Bernese Alps lies one of the most breathtaking mountain landscapes in Europe, the legendary Jungfrau Region. The Alpine area is home to towering peaks, deep valleys, and ancient glaciers, and picturesque villages that seem untouched by time. For travelers seeking the dramatic beauty of the Swiss Alps, the Jungfrau region represents the very essence of the country's natural wonder. Dominating the skyline are three iconic mountains, Eiger, Monch, and Jungfrau. Together, these majestic peaks form one of the most famous mountain panoramas in the world. The Eiger is known for its imposing north face, a nearly vertical wall of rock and ice that has challenged mountaineers for generations. Climbers from across the globe have attempted to conquer this legendary route, facing extreme weather, avalanches, and sheer cliffs along the way. Beside it stands the graceful peak of Monch, while the Jungfrau, whose name means the maiden, rises elegantly above the surrounding glaciers. From afar, the mountains appear calm and silent. Up close, they reveal a world shaped by powerful natural forces. One of the most remarkable ways to experience this alpine landscape is by traveling aboard the famous Jungfrau Railway. Completed in the early 20th century after years of daring engineering work, the railway climbs deep into the mountains through tunnels carved directly into the rock. The journey eventually reaches Jungfrau, often called the top of Europe, at more than 3,400 meters above the sea level. This high-altitude destination offers sweeping views across a vast sea of ice, immense Alpine Glacier, and the largest glacier in the Alps. From observation platform high above the valley, visitors can gaze across endless fields of snow ice and stretching toward the distant horizon. It is a view that feels both timeless and humbling. Yet the Jungfrau region is not only about its dramatic mountain peaks. Below the glaciers lie gentle alpine meadows dotted with wooden chalets and small villages. In summer, wild flowers bloom across the hillsides, while cowbells echo softly through the valleys. Traditional mountain life continues much as it has for centuries. Visitors can explore scenic hiking trails, ride cable cars to panoramic viewpoints, or simply sit quiet villages and watch the changing light on the mountains. Every season brings a different kind of beauty. In winter, the region transforms into a snowy playground for skiers and snowboarders. In spring and summer, the landscape becomes lush and green. Autumn paints the forest with warm shades of gold and amber. It is this constant rhythm of the nature that makes the Jungfrau region so special. But beyond these towering peaks lies another side of the Alps, a world of peaceful villages and hidden valleys where traditional Swiss life remains beautifully preserved. Our journey now continues toward those quieter corners of the mountains, beginning with the timeless charm of the Swiss Alpine villages scattered throughout the high valleys of Switzerland. Part 6. Alpine villages, life in the high mountains. Beyond Switzerland's famous cities and towering peaks lies another side of the Alps, the quieter world where time seems to move more slowly. Scattered across the valleys and mountainsides of the Swiss Alps are hundreds of small alpine villages. These communities, often surrounded by forests, pastures, and dramatic mountains scenery, have preserved a way of life that has existed for centuries. Here, traditions remain deeply rooted in daily life. Many of the homes are traditional wooden chalets, but built with sloping roofs designed to withstand heavy winter snow. Their balconies are often decorated with colorful flowers during the warmer months, adding bright touches of red and pink against the green and alpine landscapes. In villages such as Wingen and Meren, narrow paths replace busy roads, and the sounds of nature are never far away. Cowbells echo across the hills, and herds graze peacefully on high mountain pastures. For generations, farming and dairy products have been central to life in these alpine communities. Fresh milk, butter, and traditional cheeses are still produced using methods passed down through families. One of the most famous examples is Swiss cheese, crafted from the milk of cows that graze on alpine grasses and wild herbs. The flavors reflect the landscape itself, rich, natural, and deeply connected to the mountains. Life in these villages follows the rhythm of the season. During the summer, farmers guide their cattle up into higher alpine meadows in a traditional known as Alpine transhumance. The animals spend monthly grazing freely among wildflowers before returning to the valleys in autumn. When winter arrives, snow blankets the landscape, transforming the villages into peaceful mountain retreats. Wooden houses glow warmly beneath the snow while smoke rises gently from chimneys. Despite their quiet atmosphere, these villages welcome visitors from around the world who seek authentic alpine culture and breathtaking scenery. Travelers come to hike mountain trails, enjoy traditional food, and experience the calm beauty of the village life in the Alps. It is here that Switzerland reveals one of its most timeless treasures, a living connection between people, nature, and tradition. And from these peaceful villages, our journey continues deeper into the Bernese Oberland toward one of the most famous adventure destinations in the Alps, Interlaken. Part 7. Interlaken, Gateway to Adventure. In the heart of the Bernese Oberland, surrounded by towering mountains and crystal lakes, lies one of Switzerland's most famous travel destinations, Interlaken. The name Interlaken literally means between lakes, and the town sits perfectly between the two of the most beautiful bodies of water in the Swiss Alps, Lake Thun and Lake Grimentz. These lakes, fed by melting glaciers high in the mountains, shine in brilliant shades of the blue and turquoise. Their calm waters reflect the surrounding peaks, creating a landscape that feels both peaceful and dramatic at the same time. For centuries, Interlaken has served as a gateway into the high Alps. Travelers from across Europe began arriving here as early as the 19th century. Drawn by the promise to fresh mountain air and breathtaking scenery, elegant hotels were built along the riverbanks, welcoming visitors who came to explore the surrounding valleys and mountain passes. Even today, the town retains much of that historic charm. One of the most recognizable places in Interlaken is Homemade Park, a large open green space located in the center of town. From these peaceful meadows, visitors all enjoy unobstructed views of the majestic Jungfrau, where snow-covered summit rises high above the valley. Paragliders often drift gracefully through the sky here, landing softly on the grass after soaring above the mountains. Watching them descend against the backdrop of the Alps has become one of the iconic sights of Interlaken. While the scenery itself is extraordinary, Interlaken is also known as one of Europe's most exciting outdoor adventure destinations. The surrounding region offers a wide variety of activities for travelers seeking for both relaxation and adrenaline. During the warmer months, visitors can go hiking along the Alpine trails, kayaking across the turquoise lakes, or cycling through the quiet valleys. The nearby rivers, fed by glacier meltwater, provide ideal conditions of rafting and kayaking, thrilling experiences that attract adventure enthusiasts from all around the world. For those who prefer to experience the landscape from above, paragliding flights offer breathtaking aerial views of the entire region. Floating silently through the sky, travelers can see the deep blue lakes below, the forests that blanket the mountain sides, and the distant peaks of the Bernese Alps stretching toward the horizon. Yet, Interlaken is not only about adventure. The town also serves as a convenient base for exploring some of Switzerland's most famous alpine destinations. Scenic trains and mountain railways depart regularly from the nearby stations, connecting visitors to villages high in the mountains. From here, travelers can easily reach the charming resort of Grindelwald and Wingen, or continue deeper into the dramatic landscape of the Jungfrau region. As evening falls, Interlaken becomes calm and atmospheric. Soft lights reflect on the river flowing through town, while cafes and restaurants fill with visitors sharing stories of the day's adventure. The cool alpine air carries the quiet sounds of the mountains, and the peaks slowly fade into the darkening sky. It is a place where excitement and tranquility exist side by side. But while Interlaken is lively and vibrant, the journey through the Alps soon leads to a very different landscape. One of the waterfalls, steep cliffs, and one of the most spectacular valleys in Europe. Just a short distance away lies a destination that many travelers consider the most beautiful valley in Switzerland. Our next stop takes us to the breathtaking Lauterbrunnen Valley. Part 8. Lauterbrunnen Valley. The Valley of 72 Waterfalls. Hidden deep within the Bernese Oberland lies one of the most extraordinary natural landscapes in Europe, the breathtaking Lauterbrunnen Valley. Often described as one of the most beautiful valleys in the world, Lauterbrunnen is famous for its towering cliffs, lush green meadows, and an astonishing number of waterfalls cascading down the rock walls. In fact, the valley is home to more than 70 waterfalls. This remarkable landscape was carved thousands of years ago by powerful glaciers that slowly shaped the valley into its dramatic U-shaped form. When the ice eventually retreated, it left behind steep cliffs rising hundreds of meters above the valley floor. Today, water from melting snow and alpine streams pours down these cities, forming countless waterfalls that flow into the valley below. The most famous of them is Tallback Falls, which plunges nearly 300 meters from the rocky cliffs above the village. On windy days, the falling water breaks into a delicate mist before reaching the ground, creating a magical scene that seems almost dreamlike. Standing near the base of the falls, visitors can hear the the soft roar of the water while looking up the dramatic rock face towering overhead. For centuries, this landscape has inspired poets, artists, and travelers. Even the famous German writer Johann Wolfgang von Goethe visited the valley and wrote about the beauty of its waterfalls during his travels through Switzerland. At the center of the valley sits the small and peaceful village of Lauterbrunnen, surrounded by wooden chalets, alpine fields, and quiet country roads. From here, travelers can explore a network of hiking trails that lead through the valley and up toward the surrounding mountain villages. One of the most remarkable natural wonders nearby is the Zermatt Falls. Unlike most waterfalls that flow openly down mountainsides, Zermatt Falls rush through a series of tunnels carved inside the mountain itself. These powerful glacial waterfalls carry millions of liters of water each day from the melting snowfields of the Jungfrau. Visitors can travel inside the mountain using a lift and a network of walkways that reveal the dramatic force of the rushing waters as it crashes through narrow rock chambers. The sound of the water echoing through the cavernous spaces creates an unforgettable experience. High above the valley of floor and are several traditional alpine villages that seem to cling to the cliffs. One of the most famous is Moritz, the charming car-free village perched on a terrace overlooking the valley. From here, visitors can enjoy sweeping views of the snow-covered peaks and deep green valleys stretching far into the distance. Another beautiful village is Wangen, which sits high above the valley and offers stunning views toward the Jungfrau. Life in these mountain communities remains peaceful and closely connected to the surrounding landscape. Hiking trails wind through forests and alpine meadows, while cable cars and mountain trains provide access to panoramic viewpoints high in the Alps. In every direction, nature reveals scenes of extraordinary beauty: waterfalls tumbling down cliffs, distant glaciers shining under the sun, and quiet villages nestled among the mountains. It is easy to understand why Lauterbrunnen has captivated travelers from generations. Yet Switzerland still holds many hidden treasures beyond its famous valley. Our journey now leads toward a lesser-known destination, a small mountain village where traditional alpine life continues much as it has for centuries. Deep in the valley's region lies the charming and historic village of Grimentz. Part 9. Grimentz, a timeless alpine village. Far from the busy tourist routes of the Swiss Alps lies a village where time seems to move at a slower, gentler pace. Tucked deep within the mountains of valleys, the historic village of Grimentz offers a rare glimpse into traditional alpine life that has remained largely unchanged for centuries. Unlike the grand resorts and famous destinations visited earlier in our journey, Grimentz is quiet, intimate, and deeply connected to the rhythms of the surrounding mountains. The village itself sits high in the scenic Val d'Anniviers, and a valley known for its pristine and landscape's authentic sweet character. Walking through Grimentz feel like stepping into another area. Narrow cobblestone streets with gently between rows of dark wooden chalets, many of which date back several hundred years. These traditional houses are built from weather large rather large wood that has slowly darkened over the time, giving the entire village a rich and timeless appearance. One of the most charming details of Grimentz can be seen during the warmer months. Almost every balcony is decorated with bright and geranium flowers, creating vibrant bursts of color against the deep brown wood of the chalets. The site has become one of the most recognizable images of the village. In early centuries, life here revolved around farming, livestock, and the careful use of surrounding alpine land. Families depended on the mountains for survival, raising cattle and producing dairy products that sustained the community through long winters. To store valuable supplies such as grain and food, villagers constructed small wooden storage houses raised on stone pillars. These clever structures helped to protect food from the rodents and moisture, preserving precious resources during difficult seasons. Today, many of these historic granaries can still be seen throughout the village. Despite its quiet nature, Grimentz offers remarkable access to the surrounding alpine landscape. Just beyond the village lies the beautiful Moritz Glacier, one of the most striking glaciers in the world in the region. The icy blue mass flows slowly down the mountainside, feeding the brilliant turquoise waters in the Lac de Mori below. In summer, visitors explore hiking trails that wind through forests, alpine meadows, and rocky mountains paths leading toward panoramic viewpoints. During winter, the region transforms into a peaceful ski destination, offering slopes that feel far less crowded than those in larger resorts. Yet, what truly makes Grimentz special is not only its scenery, it is the feeling of authenticity and that surrounds the village. Life here continues at a calm and steady rhythm, shaped by nature, tradition, and community. As the sun sets behind the mountains, golden light falls across the wooden chalets and quiet streets. It is moments like these that travelers begin to understand the deeper beauty of Switzerland, a beauty that exists not only in dramatic peaks and famous cities, but also in small villages where history and nature live side by side. And as our journey through the Swiss Alps slowly comes to an end, we reflect on the landscape, culture, and timeless traditions that make this country so extraordinary. Our final stop is the moment of reflection, a look back at the unforgettable beauty of Switzerland itself. Part 10. Conclusion. Our journey across the Swiss Alps now slowly comes to an end, but the landscapes and the memories remain vivid. From the dramatic peak of the Matterhorn rising above the peaceful village of Zermatt to the elegant alpine charm of Moritz, each destination has revealed a different side of mountains. We wandered along the quiet lakes and medieval streets of Lucerne, gazed across the vast glacier of Jungfrau Region, and explored the peaceful alpine villages that preserve centuries of tradition. In Interlaken, adventure and nature beauty became together between two brilliant lakes. In the valley of Lauterbrunnen, the waterfalls tumbled down towering cliffs, creating one of the most magical landscapes in Europe. And in the quiet mountain village of Grimentz, we discovered a timeless world where wooden chalets, alpine flowers, and an ancient traditions still define daily life. Yeah, what makes Switzerland truly unforgettable is not only its famous mountains, it is the harmony between nature and culture, the way villages, railways, farms, and cities have grown carefully within the alpine landscapes without losing their character. The Alps are not only simply a place to visit, they are a place to slow down, breathe deeply, and reconnect with the nature As the sun sets behind snow-covered peaks and the last golden light touches by the valley below, the quiet beauty of Switzerland leaves a lasting impression. And perhaps that is the true magic of the Alps. Long after the journey ends, a part of these mountains remains with every traveler who has seen them.